welcome guys to the BK Have It Your Way Nationwide Series, Season 3, as we are here for Race 21 here at Primal Raceway. It's a big track, and it's another one of our new tracks. The funny thing about it is the high side works better than the low side. So Seth, what do you think we're gonna see out of this track here today?
Well, I think you just touched on the most important thing. This track seems to defy all the principles of any other racetrack, no matter whether it's restrictor plate track or an intermediate track. This racetrack, the high side, it's where you get to be able to make the passes, and I think it's really going to throw these drivers for a loop, because I think they have their setups for being able to get their car to have grip on the low side. Now they've got to completely make a 180-degree turn and have their car be able to have a setup that'll help them run in the middle or the high side. So I think you're going to see a very interesting race here, something that maybe we haven't seen in a long time.
Alright, well, we got Jack Rich on the pole. Next to him is Luke Walker, Ralph Green, Eric Matthews, Mark George, Robert Young, Dylan Poteet, Connor Breton, and Trent Dunham and Jake Rogers. Who do you look to have a great day or a great points day out of those 10 drivers?
I'll tell you what, Jack Richards, he comes in 19th in the standings. Certainly a good starting spot for him, and this is getting close to the time now where when you're around the 15th to 20th position in the points, a win really could help your chances of getting to the top 10. So, we don't know much about this track, or at least I don't, and so, it'd be interesting to see if the 9 car could win from the pole.
Okay, well, we will take you to your starting grid. Alright guys, we're getting ready to take the green flag here at Primal, and Jack Richards in the 9 Dodge for Ray Everham is going to try to take it to the victory lane here today, but he's going to have to hold off Luke Walker and a host of other drivers. Well, Seth, if you could see the screen, I'll let you take him to green flag.
Alright, 42 very talented drivers ready to take here to this racetrack. It's going to be very interesting who's going to be able to have what it takes to win here at this racetrack. Who's going to keep it on the high side? No idea. But we are moments away from finding out. Jack Richards leads them to the green flag as they head to turn 1.
Alright, green flag is out. Jack Richards leads them into turn 1. Here comes Eric Matthews on the inside. And as the inside line is working for him, I guess, but he takes it to the inside for the lead, and he's looking to try to make the inside work. But as we said, the inside is not going to work today. The high side is the best way to go.
Yeah, right there on the restart, though, Eric Matthews, he did get a good run there through turns 1 and 2, but you can see how the high side kicked in. Jack Richards is running away now.
You see it right there. They're about 5 wide in the back, and there's Luke Walker. Drop back to the 3rd position now as he uses the high side, but he's gonna have to give way to Ralph Green, and Ralph Green is really making moves up right now as he goes to the 3rd position.
This is the first time I've ever seen this racetrack, and it's looking like through the turns they're making it work, going about 4 wide, so you may be able to have that and not go under a caution flag.
Yeah, you might be right, Seth. As they come out the corner here, Jack Richards still leads, and we'll take a look through the back of the pack. There's Connor Breton. Oh man, they're about 5 wide in the back there. Seth Cole. Last week's winner, Danny Wells. How do you think Danny Wells is going to fare at a track that he's never been to? First time being here.
Hey, he did it last week at a track he'd never been to in Arizona, so, Danny Wells, he could end up pulling off a 2 in a row here and do it at tracks that he's never raced at before. He obviously learns quickly.
Yes, you are right. And there's Dylan Poteet way up on the high side right here. Oh, almost got into the wall right there, but we're keeping it green.
If he had gone off the wall, he may have come down to the 73. That could have been a wreck right there. It was a good save by Dylan Poteet.
Exactly. The high side is working for some people, but the low side is sometimes getting the pass done.
I'm seeing some drivers rim riding up on the high side, but they're not really losing positions like I would expect them to. Normally when that happens, they free fall like a rock. They're able to hold their ground pretty
Yeah,
well.
it's Trent Dunham. Oh, man, he almost got into 23 right there. And we're still green flag, surprisingly. As we move up to the top two again, there's Eric Matthews. He's going to make the bottom. He's going to go to the bottom for the lead again. He's been trying to do this all.
Low side work, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Not at all. Jack Richards is really good on the outside. He's going to go in the corner. He's going to get that jump. Really in this corner is where the high side really shows off.
You know, the interesting thing is when you get a run on a race car, normally it's when you're building up speed either down the front or back straightaway. How do you take that momentum to the high side and not get into the wall? I think that's the big problem that Eric Matthews is dealing with right now.
Yeah, there goes Ken Johnson in the Bob Evans. And the Bob Evans number one is he's going to the third position. He's looking pretty good here today.
Now that time he made the inside line work, so apparently some drivers are able to get by on the low side, but not very often right now.
Luke Walker is falling back. He's falling to fifth position. It looks like he's not having the grip he needs in that car right now. We'll take a look at Barney Ward. Barney Ward's in the new paint scheme, the Seal Wrap 36 this week. As he's running in 14th, looking pretty good for Barney Ward to try to make a move up in points.
Yeah, certainly a good run for the 36, no doubt about that. Barney Ward in new paint scheme and comes into this 14th in the standings, so this is a good run, good consistent run for the 36.
As they're making the high side work on Pichu as he tried to use the low side to get by, but he quickly figured that didn't work.
We're seeing both Pichu and Luke Walker. They're both falling back, so kind of interesting there. Maybe they're trying to run the same setup and it's not working for either one of them.
As there goes Seth Cole making the move on Ronald Jacobson. He takes it way to the inside to make a pass right here. But Ronald Jacobson is going to get the high side and keep that position. And Jake Rogers is falling back now. He gets stuck on the inside.
Well, going back to Ronald Jacobson, he not only fought off that run that the 20 car was getting on him, but then he went to the highest side of, I think that's Dylan Young, or no, that's Jake Rogers in the 59, and he bypassed him on the high side, so he really got that high side run off that, I think it was the second corner.
Well, there's Jake Rogers. Jake Rogers has fallen to 10th, but he's looking to have a solid run as he's a rookie making his first start at this racetrack as well, and he's looking pretty solid.
Yeah, Jake Rogers, I've been able to follow him in other series and everything, and he's really a very talented driver, but it takes him a little time to get used to a new ride, and he had a little bit of tough luck at Arizona last week, but, you know, I don't think it'll take much time for him to learn that 59 car, and he may be able to be en route to a good consecutive finish here today, and maybe a win later on this season.
Go back up to the front. Eric Matthews still hasn't got by Jack Richards yet, but he's right there. We're bringing Ken Johnson right there with him.
And the thing that Jack Richards is able to do is just keep his car down on the low side and then shift it up a little bit when he gets to the middle of the turn. That allows him to be able to block both advantages that Eric Matthews could get, either diving down low in turn 1 or being able to shift it up and try and pass high off of turn 2. So he's doing a good job with that blocking right there.
Yeah, Eric Matthews is falling back, but look who's coming back now. Luke Walker to the inside of Ralph Green for the 4th position.
Still seems determined to try and get that low side working. I kind of question
Oh man, look at Ralph Green. Oh my goodness.
Man, did he get a run off that high side? And that's exactly what Ronald Jacobson did too. I'm seeing a lot of drivers being able to slingshot off of turn 4 there.
Ralph Green is up to the 3rd position again. He's going to try to make his move on Eric Matthews, but as we take a look through the back of the pack, no caution, surprisingly. I'll tell you some guys that's having tough runs here today. Aaron Williams, Joseph Bryant, Eric Burton, Zohar, and Jessica Miller.
Yeah, apparently they're either hanging back or else they just don't have the setups to be able to make passes, but there's about 13 laps down, almost 13 laps, and time's running out. They got to start making moves now.
Oh, man. Joseph Bryant almost got Aaron Williams right there off the corner. You're gonna have to make pit stops too. And I tell another guy not having a great day is Sean Henley right there, and he's still in the top 10 in points. It's been a rough few weeks for that guy, and he needs to pick it up.
It certainly has. Sean Henley kind of, you might say, got away lucky after Arizona. He still is 7th in the standings, but put 2 bad runs together, that could prove to be fatal for that 6 car and knock him outside the top 10. So he certainly needs to step it up here. You know, just a thing you were talking about, pit stops having to be made. Some of these drivers, their cars look like they got real good grip right now. They may not have to go with a 4-tire stop. They may not even have to go with a 2-tire stop. I don't know how much these tires can take here at this track with the temperature and everything, but some of these drivers, they may gamble it, just go with fuel only and get the track position.
Yeah, you might be right. There goes another driver trying to make some moves. Dylan Young. He's 30th right now. He's not looking too good right now.
Now seeing a lot of big names here in the back, and that's what makes me wonder if they're just waiting for the pit stops to be able to make their moves on the racetrack. So I don't know if that's the case, or if this is just that they haven't yet been able to complete the learning period here of trying to figure out this racetrack.
There's Dylan Poteet. He's hanging on to the top 20 right now, but he is falling back.
Yeah,
big time.
Dylan Poteet, that's not exactly, I think, where I would want to be. If I were the points leader, I either would want to be up front so that way I can make a sure pit stop.
Oh, caution!
Oh.
No, we're still green, I think. I think somebody got loose. Coming down pit road.
Drivers trying to come down to pit road here, and a car checked up maybe. I don't know. I thought I saw someone slap the wall.
I had no idea who that was, but Eric Matthews is the leader now because Jack Richard had to pit. It's Ken Johnson in the 2nd position. Here comes Ralph Green. He'll take it way to the high side this time. It's Ken Johnson had to pit. Oh man. There's Trent Dunham in the 9th position.
He's gonna pick up some spots now.
There's Xavier Livingston making himself oh man. We got guys coming back up on the track.
Yeah, Ron Jacobson almost came up right in front of points leader Dylan Poteet, who was in the middle of a 3-wide battle right there.
There goes Willow Livingston right up in front of him. And Dylan, they got him in the top 10, but he might have to pit soon. Oh, man. Oh, 36. Oh!
Whoa. Good grief.
And caution is out.
I'll tell you what, 9 times out of 10, I would not have thought that would be what the caution would come out for, an incident with cars ramming into the pit wall, but man.
I think the 4 car was Jennifer Miller. She was the cause of that. I don't know who the lead. Oh, we got him piled up in the back.
Ronald Jacobson's in it. He had a real good car today.
Oh, dang. Oh, Justin Perry's in it. Jessica Lawrence is in it.
We went 17 laps without an incident, and now it's just all breaking loose here.
John Dawson is in it. Oh, man. Let's take a look at what happened here. Well, what do you see from this angle, Seth? From what happened to Jennifer?
I don't know if it was just a problem with her not hearing her spotter telling her to come in, or if her spotter made a last-minute decision to tell her to come in, but
oh
boy, she almost missed the pit wall there. And I'll tell you what, she had the most to lose here today with that incident. She came in 8th in the standings. I don't think that's exactly how she was planning to end her day off, and that's just real tough.
Where'd Willow Livingston coming in points? She has a lot of front damage, man.
Who?
Willow Livingston.
She comes in 9th, so there's 8th and 9th in the standings involved right there.
Oh man, just I never seen that coming though. I mean, they look like they knew what they was doing, but Jennifer Miller, I guess she hasn't had problems coming into this pit road in the practice, and I guess it really bit her here today.
Didn't even look like they were coming 3-wide. Looked like they were just coming down double wide, and boy, that That was not what I expected the yellow to come out for.
Well, we have something else to show you with Ronald Jacobson. Well, right here, Seth, is this a case of bunching up because they came to the line right here and
Yeah, they just backed up.
oh
I've seen
my
this
God.
before, and they just don't know that the car up ahead of them is slower. And
Man,
it's a heartbreak for me, especially to see that 82 of Ronald Jacobson. I was enjoying watching both him and Ralph Green being able to make passes on the high side. And in my opinion, one of the two most dominant cars ends up getting damaged here.
and Jessica Lawrence got a piece of Ronald Jacobson right there. So I think I seen Justin Perry get a piece of it along with the 23 of Jonathan Kuvas. But I think this is all John Dawson's fault. I don't know what he was doing right here. He just went right into the 23.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the deal was there. I mean, especially when the yellow's out, you're supposed to slow down and then find out what's going on. I think he was waiting to find out what was going on before he slowed down. You gotta take it in a process, and he ended up putting step 2 in place of step 1, and that caused a lot of drivers some wrecked race cars.
Well, this is going to bunch up the field a lot, so we will see what happens when we go back to green. And we are back a couple laps early because we have somebody in trouble here. And
Was that Ralph Green blowing up?
Yes, that is Ralph Green.
Oh
Another one. Oh my God. Ralph Green is done.
Now I don't even have a clue who I'm going to be looking at to possibly win this race. There's the two guys I was looking at that were able to make the high side work, and both of them are out now.
Well, first is Eric Matthews, and now he kept trying to make the inside work, but I don't think it's gonna work this time. Where's the post hitter at? Jack Richards? He's way back here in 15th. He's gonna be hoping for pit stops to maybe put him back up to the front.
Yeah, they pitted though on lap 16. We've only got about 8 or 9 laps to go. I don't think they'll be making pit stops again.
We're gonna have to see. You never know. Oh, what's going on here?
How about Dylan Poteet up there in 12th? Or not the pulse there, but the points leader. He's gotten up there.
Yeah, you're right. It's looking pretty good right now. Look at Danny Wells, top 5 for the... Well, I'm sorry, sad to tell you, last week was New Hampshire, race 20. Arizona was race 19.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting confused here.
It's alright. Danny Wells, last week's winner at New Hampshire. He's trying to double down here at a new track. He's never been here before, but we're going to have a lot of lap down cars in front of these guys, tailing the lead lap. So here we go, the green flag. Who will win it?
Got to be very frustrated right now. That's Eric Matthews. He was having trouble getting by Jack Richards. Think what he's got to do now, having to get by these 6 race cars who are on the tail end of the lead lap.
Oh man! Oh, they go to the inside, and here we go. And there goes Pichu to the inside. He's in the 3rd position. He's looking to cash in now as he goes to the inside of the one machine. He's gonna go right to his teammate. But there they go. Oh my goodness! And they'll go out the racetrack right here. Oh, they're gonna have to be careful. And they'll all make it out. But Eric Matthews will lose the lead to Ken Johnson. And here comes Danny Wells.
That was an amazing pass by Ken Johnson. He moved Jessica Lawrence up the track and used the middle groove to make sure he was going to head into the turn higher.
Oh, man.
Eric Matthews.
There he goes right there. And Ken Johnson is the new leader now. But Eric Matthews is not going to let him get away.
Did Eric Matthews go below the yellow line there trying to get underneath him?
I think he almost did.
My goodness.
They go 4 wide in the back there. But Ken Johnson's got it made right now as he's in the lead right now. But he's going to have to deal with these cars up here. Seth Cole is one of them. Jessica Miller. A lot of good cars up in front. They're not going to give up easily.
Not only that, they're not even damaged race cars. They are up to speed, which makes it even more of a threat for the leader.
Here he comes. Here comes Eric Matthews to the inside, trying again, but he's not going to get it. Oh, man, he almost got into Ken Johnson, but here comes Dakota Erickson. Where did he come from? He's in the 4th position.
I have no idea. there's so many drivers that have moved up here into the top 5. Pichu and Dakota Erickson. You might have not heard the last one, but here comes Eric Matthews to the inside again.
Eric Matthews going to try it again, but it's not been working, and he'll come to the inside again, and he's getting a host of speed. But it's not going to work again this time. Ken Johnson's got the high side working. As here comes Pichu to the high side to take the second position.
Now see, Pichu, back at the beginning of the race, he was trying to get the low side to work. He's finally figured out the outside works. I'm wondering why Eric Matthews has not yet tried to make a pass to the high side. He keeps trying to get the inside line wound up.
Here goes Zohar, going to be one of the drivers in the way right here. But Ken Johnson going to try to get by him pretty cleanly right here.
Now here's the deal there. Ken Johnson, he's underneath a race car.
Oh, here comes Eric Matthews. But Eric Matthews still don't try to get by him on the high side.
I don't understand that at all. Eric Matthews' spotter should be telling him, trying and pass him high. And I think the perfect opportunity was right there when the one car was down in the low groove. But Matthews, he's had 4 or 5, maybe even 6 different chances to be able to get the lead, and he's not been able to capitalize on any of them.
You are right. And there goes Dakota Erickson trying to capitalize and get a top 5 out of this day. And Danny Wells, this is like his 5th start, and he is just amazing me the way he's driving this car.
Yeah, it's as if he raced in this series the whole season. It's incredible the way he's adapted to that car and that team.
But Ken Johnson looking like he's trying to go run away with this race right now, as he is in the first position right now. But Eric Matthews is still trying to get to him, but I think time is too late for that 60 team.
Yeah, I saw Eric Matthews, Pichu, and Dakota Erickson all trying to battle for that second position. That's just going to allow space to grow between themselves and the leaders. I think Eric Matthews, I think it's a little too late for him as well. I don't think he'll have time to run down Ken Johnson.
Well, he's right there now, but he's going to have to make the high side work for him to get by Ken Johnson, because Ken Johnson is not going to give up the high side.
Who knows? Maybe Eric Matthews, maybe this has been his plan. Maybe he's trying to make Ken Johnson think that he's going to try and pass him low instead of up high, and then at the last minute he'll pass high. I don't know. Could be some strategy, but it certainly hasn't seemed like it.
Well, no caution will come out for these tail end of the lap cars, so these guys don't have to worry about anything. As the white flag is out, the race will be over. Whatever happens, Ken Johnson comes into turns 1 and 2. The rookie.
Eric Matthews, he's about 2 car lengths behind now, and he's got Pichu running his back bumper. I don't know if that would help him get up to the back bumper more, but he's coming.
He's coming, but Ken Johnson is going to hold it high. And Ken Johnson, this is like his 5th or 4th start. And here comes Eric Matthews to the high side. But Eric Matthews is not going to get to him. And Ken Johnson in his 5th start in the 1 machine will come down, and he will win here at Primal Raceway.
You know, obviously Ken Johnson, a great win. Eric Matthews, he would have liked to have won, but I think he'll be satisfied with 2nd place. He may be a little frustrated he was not able to get by the leader, whether it was Jack Richards or Ken Johnson, but I certainly wouldn't sneer at a top 5 finish.
Ken Johnson will win his first ever Nationwide Series race in his 4th or 5th start, I think. He came in at Daytona, which was race 17, so I think this is his 5th start. So congratulations to Ken Johnson.
Now Dylan Poteet, he restarted in 12th. I didn't really see him at all during this green flag run.
He finished 14th. Not too far off.
No, that's not a bad finish at all if you're the points leader.
Well, we had one wacky caution, and that's what kind of threw us off for a little bit, and that's what maybe put Ken Johnson where he was at, and he ran away with it. As we have Pichu in the 3rd position, Dakota Erickson with a very nice 4th position, and Danny Wells with 5th position, and guess who's 6th? Sam Young. Didn't even talk about him all day, and he finishes 6th.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there were a lot of drivers up inside the top 10 we didn't talk about, and they just did a terrific job here. And I don't know if it's just a fact that this racetrack, it really looked like it was an easy track to learn. I didn't see drivers really struggling trying to get through the turns and everything, so it could be the fact that these drivers were able to adjust to it pretty easily, and that's why we saw so many interesting names up here inside the top 5 and top 10.
Yeah, you're right. And we have Xavier Livingston. He's top 4 in points, and he came out of nowhere to get top 10. Along with Mark George in the 18. And as we go down the list, as we go down the list, Barney Ward finishes 11th. We said he needed a good finish today, and he got that.
Yeah, and we saw him actually having a hard time. I think it was just before the pit stops. He was having a hard time staying on the high side to make passes. He was getting freight trained, so he came back for a good finish.
And there goes the 3 machine of Ryan Cooper. He pretty much surprised me today getting that 12th place. Didn't talk about him too much.
No, we didn't talk about a lot of the drivers who got good finishes. And, I'll tell you what, Jack Richards, I don't exactly know what it was that caused him to be back about 15th place on that last restart. I'm wondering if it was just when he pitted or something, but his car really looked good when it was out in front, and I think if things had worked out in his favor, he may have won this race, but obviously pit strategy apparently was what thwarted a plan of that car.
Alright, and we have the 44 of Corey O'Malley, who's second in points.
Yeah, certainly a good day for a lot of different drivers, but I'll tell you what, Corey O'Malley, he's 5th in the standings. He's going to probably move up, I would calculate, to the 3rd position in points, or maybe he would be 4th because Ralph Green, who was 3rd in the standings, he took the hardest hit with that engine failure.
Yes, you're right. And as we go down the list, guy rounding out the top 20, Eric Burton with a solid finish. And as you go down a little bit more, go down to 25th and down, guys such as Robert Piet, Matthew McMurray, Roxy Erickson, Ronald Jacobson, the 29th position of Sean Henley, Trent Dunham 30th, Aaron Williams 31st, 32nd position is Seth Cole, Alexander Dawson, Jessica Miller, Zohar Manad, and Jessica Lawrence, Ralph Green, Willow Livingston, Jennifer Miller, and Justin Perry.
Yeah, pretty much from 31st to 36th, those were those drivers who were just barely ahead of leader Ken Johnson for that last green flag run.
Man, that was just tough break for all those drivers down there, and they're not gonna have too much great points days after today.
Now Lewis Gordon, he's the 21 car, isn't he?
Yeah, let's take a look at where he finished.
Yeah, I think he finished down around
21st.
21st, yeah. He comes in 2nd in the standings. I don't know if that's that great a finish. Now,
No.
points leader Dylan Poteet finished in 14th, so that was only 7 positions back, so it may not be too bad, but it'll be interesting to see how the standings look.
Alright, we'll take you to the standings now as we are finished with the race. And as here we go to the standings, and there goes Dylan Poteet, but Lewis Gordon is now 31 points behind. He was a little bit farther back last week, so he kind of gained a little bit. And as we go down, Corey O'Malley's 4th in points, and now 3rd in points is Xavier Livingston.
Sean Henley, apparently he got a good enough finish. He's still 7th.
And Robert Young moves his way up to the top 10 and 8th. And Barney Ward, with that 11th place finish, gets him up to the 9th place in points.
Jennifer Miller and Willow Livingston, remember they came in 8th and 9th. They are now 12th and 13th. So that wreck that they had there at the entrance of Pit Road were, I believe, Eric Burton and Barney Ward.
Yes. And as we keep going down, we see Dylan Young actually moved. I think he moved up or down. I had no clue.
Dylan Young came in 13th in the standings,
Yeah, he
so
actually moved
he
up.
moved up 2 spots.
I don't know where he finished, but he must have finished decent to move up 2 spots. And Red Bell is still 14th in the standings after her 18th place today. And Jessica Miller falling out the top 10. And Jack Richards moves up, I think. And Aaron Williams stays in the 18th position. And Sam Young, I think he moved up, right?
Sam Young, yes, I believe he did. And that car, yeah, he did. He did pick up some spots. So did Dakota Erickson after his top 5.
He's closing on the top 20. He might be able to have a chance, make the chase.
Eric
Roxy
Matthews,
Erickson.
he's up to 24th.
And there's Alexander Dawson. He's falling big time. Trent Dunham. He's gonna have to try to make. He's gonna have to try to get up in the top 20 as he's had a couple bad races. Last 2 races.
Yeah, I was watching Trent Dunham this race. It looked like his car couldn't make passes on the high side either. A lot of drivers are having trouble with that.
There's Connor Breeden, Mark George, Joseph Bryant, Theo Stigo, Justin Perry. And as you keep going down, Ryan Cooper's up to 35th in points, which is kind of a big jump for him, actually.
Yeah, and how about Danny Wells there? That's his second top 10 and his second top 5. That's pretty impressive.
As he's a new driver, just making his way up right now, so he's not too far up in points yet.
It's incredible, the new talent that comes in late in the season. You got Danny Wells and Ken Johnson. They both have wins now.
Exactly. And both of them are pretty talented drivers from the Truck Series, and they move out to Nationwide Series. Ken Johnson is the only one of them that hasn't moved his way up to the Cup yet. Danny Wells, his first season in the Cup Series. So I guess a lot of owners are looking at Ken Johnson to see if he can move up into the Cup next season. But as those are our standings, and next week we will be at Watkins Glen for the next road course race. And then there's only one more race for these guys before they get into their chase, the Nationwide Series guys. And it's looking like we have kind of, figured out who might be in, who might not be in.
Yeah, I'd say right now probably positions 1 through 5, maybe as far down as positions 1 through 7. Right now, I think they may be able to get good enough finishes, even if they have some hard luck in one race or two, that they may be able to remain in. But I'll tell you what, the big place is going to be from 8th place Robert Young down to 15th place Jennifer Miller. Those cars, that's where you're going to see the big moves made of drivers moving in and out of the top 10.
Well, Barney is going to need a win in these next 2 races to try to solidify himself. But if he can stay in the top 10, it might just put him in. So we'll see. But anyway, that's our coverage from Primal Raceway. It's a good track, and maybe seeing it in South Series soon.
It's very possible Arizona's going to make its way in the NSRA series, so it's very possible this one might too.
And if Steph, I feel like recording a Cup race. Would you like to stick around for that?
Sure, sounds good.
All right, guys. It's Ken Johnson Burnout, and congratulations to Ken Johnson. He finally got the win in the Nationwide Series for Phoenix Racing, and it's great to see low budget team like Phoenix Racing go to victory lane off of good pitch strategy. A lot of stuff like that. A lot of stuff played out into their favor. I mean, they're up in the top 10 all day, but really didn't think they were going to get the win. But he somehow got up to the top 5, and then after that, just went good from there. And congrats to Ken Johnson, and he's doing his burnout right now, and a lot of things are looking up for that team as of next season. Ken Johnson plans to stay in this car after winning. But we will see you for the next race, and congrats to Ken Johnson. Much luck to you.